Salam alaikum. I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. My name is Henrietta Szovati, and I'm a writer and a coach. We have officially entered the last 10 days of Ramadan, and we are creating more space for reflection, for thinking, for planning, for shredding some of the things that we have been thinking about. I'm honored and humbled to be here with you today. I love short reminders because they are, first and foremost, are really helpful for myself, to remind myself of what is important, what do I need to think about, what do I need to focus on. This year and last year has brought many challenges to all of us. I believe not a single person walks around on the face of this earth today who has not been affected by the pandemic in one way or another. Regardless of our age, job, skin color, financial situations, marital status, thoughts, beliefs, all of us have been affected by the pandemic. And as we enter the last 10 days of Ramadan, and I begin to slow down with my thoughts, I began to think about some of the key learnings that I have drawn from this last year and a half. The pandemic has brought so many different challenges to all of us, and as I reflect on this as a humanity, what has happened to us, I have come to realize that these challenges that have been given to us are of threefold. They are personal, they are tailor-made, and they are handpicked. All of us are facing some sort of challenge, a stretch, an unknown situation that we have never known before, we never knew how to deal with, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually. We have been stretched in all kinds of directions. But I also know for a fact that these challenges are given to us because Allah knows not what we want, He's giving us what we need. And this is one of the things that we talk about a lot, but what does it actually mean? How do I accept something that I'm fighting against, something that I'm not ready for, something that I'm not able to handle? And then ayah comes to my mind from the Holy Quran. Hold on firmly to the rope of Allah. And that one sentence that we use so often and so regularly, but how do we apply this? What does it mean for us? It means to understand that some days are going to be easier, other days are going to be harder. But holding to the rope of Allah means we don't fall off, we don't mistrust, and we have full integrity in knowing that whatever challenge we have is not unsurmountable. It might feel like that sometimes, but none of the things that we are given is unsurmountable. I come from a spiritual tradition. My journey to Islam has been quite varied, and I tried lots of different things before I became a Muslim. One of the things that I loved about Islam and could never find in any other religion was this conviction and clarity and the idea of surrendering. Surrendering to the fact that we are not surrendering to something else, we are surrendering to something that Allah is giving to us. We are surrendering to ourselves, our own selves. The challenges that we face are given to us because Allah knows that this is what we need for our spiritual growth, for our ability not to shrink, but to shine through them. How can I become more available to somebody else who is in more need than I am? And that is a really big challenge for us to see, especially when we are so caught up in our own head thinking, oh, my problems are big and they are the biggest and no one else is facing this kind of challenges. Actually, the reason why it's so important to hold on to the rope of Allah is because when we can see that there is always somebody else whose challenge is much bigger than mine. And it automatically brings us to a place of gratitude, to be grateful for who we are, to be grateful for what we have, and to be able to provide support for each other. Another wonderful thing about the Muslim community I loved when I became a Muslim is that holding on to each other for support is the only way to go through any difficulty. So my message for all of us today is this. None of the challenges that we face is unsurmountable. They are given to us personally. It's tailor-made for our soul. And it's an opportunity for us to shine instead of shrink. And thirdly, this place of surrender will always take us to gratitude. So if there is one thing that we can do every single day, and not just in our head, not just in words, with our mouth, with our feelings, with our heart, really feel gratitude. What are the things that we are grateful for today? Not just saying it, not just writing it down, it's feeling grateful for the things that we have, because that ultimately is going to help us shine and be available for each other for support. Thank you for your time. I wish you a wonderful last blessed 10 days of Ramadan and an early Eid Mubarak. Assalamu alaikum.